Uh, uh, who wants to begin? Actually, Eric, you got to introduce us. How you right?
How you doing? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
good, good, excellent. Let's hear
We
your
all gotta
shtick.
talk like this tonight. Honor Travis.
Yeah, now then nobody will know that I'm really have a problem.
What's the sickness over there? Is it flu?
Movie Shoehorn. Welcome to the
Oh no,
movie.
we got it
So,
all here.
Robert
Sinus
Jackson.
infection, stomach bug.
Oh my
God.
Oh, I'm so
People,
sorry.
people have seen me speak out in public and turned around and
Yeah, I would not get close to you.
You're like one step away from who we were talking about last week at Death to Smoochie and Mrs. Doubtfire and all that.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Harvey Firestein.
the
Yes.
mask guy.
that's funny.
Stud.
Yeah, that's Hugo, I guess.
You
All right,
kind of.
All right, so this was your movie choice, Eric. Why did you suggest this movie?
Well, it was because I texted Nick like a month ago saying like, because Nick I feel like watches all the movies normally. I was like, hey, and the Oscars nominations came out, so I asked him like, hey, did you see any of the Oscar nominations? Which ones are good? Yada yada. And he said Banshees was the best that he saw.
Yeah.
So I
So
checked.
this got
So
This-
I only saw it because my dad recommended it to me. I'm so out on like I don't know the Oscar buzz. And Amanda was the one who originally said that months ago. I watched it without her, and then she said fuck off. And I actually got a chance to see this really in the last week because she finally got around to watching it, and I went in the room and saw like half of it with her. So it kinda
Nice.
worked out.
so it's up for what? Best Picture?
Yeah.
Wow.
For a lot. Best
It's up
picture,
for a lot of stuff.
best actor, best supporting actor, 2 best supporting actors.
Dude.
I think we
Wow.
I want to hear from Ben because it sounds like Ben didn't like it at all.
No, I did not enjoy this film. Not really. The accents were fucking horrible to try to understand.
Feckin'.
That was
Yep.
hard. That was hard.
I didn't even understand what the fucking point of the movie was. There's these 2 random idiots that live on an island off of Ireland, right?
Feckin'.
Mm-hmm.
And they just all of a sudden don't become friends anymore. That's the movie.
I've
So I
got
was
a
actually-
I've
I
got a
was actually
wild
thinking
theory
about you.
about that.
I was
Go
actually
I do
thinking
too.
about you,
I do
Ben,
too. I do too.
because for Death to Smoochie, you were trying to find a deeper meaning in that movie.
No, I
that
tried
was
to find some deeper meanings in this movie.
And I was going to say, if there was ever a movie that you could think a little bit outside of the box of trying to figure out what's going on here, that this would be
See,
one.
dude, I feel the
Yeah, but I don't need that.
this
like
is-
No, I'm
if
not
it's
saying
this
looking for
if
it.
it's this complicated to figure out, I don't want to go on that journey.
to me, this is one of those rare movies that I overall, I mean, towards the end, started to really hate it. But the performances were tremendous. This was like, I don't know, dude. The way they were portraying these characters was almost as if they were not characters. They were not actors. They are so good. Colin Farrell is so good. Brendan Gleeson is
Him
amazing.
and that guy are like best, aren't they? Like
Yeah,
friends in
they've
real
done a
life.
bunch
Like
of
they've been
shit,
in a
so-
bunch of movies.
This was a confusing movie in terms of my feelings towards it because I love it on one hand and then I just hated it. I just snapped and said, "Fuck this movie. There's no purpose to this." But I did dissect it a lot and like go back and make all these theories myself, like of what it meant, and it could mean different things to different people. Obviously, that's why it's
What
kind
did
of
you
cool.
get?
but-
What was your
what I
crazy
got was
takeaway?
like, on one hand, obviously, that's not how you go about not being friends with someone that you've been friends with forever. You could let them down. You could say, "Hey, man, I want to pursue this new thing. We can't hang out as much." But to me, the overall thing was there are so many people in this world that are being trapped and held down by their surroundings. And in a sense, all he was saying was like, I want to make a lasting impression with my life. And it was far-fetched and it was kind of very selfish, but we're all selfish. And seriously, there are artists that are being just held down. They don't know what they're capable of simply because they live on an island with some dumb fuck that they go to the bar with every day. And you don't know what your capability is because you're being dumbed down by your supporting cast.
Well,
That's a
actually,
fact.
mine is the very related but slightly different angle, which
It's
mine is
fact.
I thought this
People-
movie was like a take on technology.
Oh, wow.
Did anyone else? Did you think that, Nick?
I'm
I
all
didn't.
ears
I
right
didn't
now.
think
is
that,
fascinating.
but I certainly thought at least once during the movie, like where there was like no tech in the movie at all. I've
What
noticed
year
that.
was this?
1923. They show a calendar at one point, but the crazy thing
Really?
that sort of made me believe that this crazy theory was possible was that they sort of made it a point to show how little technology there was in the whole movie.
Yeah. It was
Like
simple.
the whole island
Nothing.
time, place was devoid of technology.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Gleason's thoughts are the same thoughts that I've had about social media, technology, that it's just totally video games that totally takes you
Worthless.
out of
Yeah.
actually creating anything and doing anything important. Like it
Yep.
just totally saps away everything, and it's just a void.
Similar
And
to some dull idiot that you're just leached on has like
yeah,
that's their
Colin
only
Farrell
friend.
was Facebook, or
Yeah.
Instagram
Wow.
or whatever.
That's crazy, dude.
And he was trying to quit him, and he can't.
Yeah.
I
And
like that theory. I didn't think about that.
yeah, because you have connections to that Facebook. You have family. I mean, dude, it's that's a weird take. I like that's hot.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. It was just sad though, dude. I felt so bad for Colin Farrell. He was such a sweet guy. Like
So I'm not gonna lie. When I was
Lauren.
watching the movie, I definitely picked up on, is this another like dark comedy film? Like that's almost the impression I got from it.
I think it's funny.
Because
It's-
what a fucking overreaction to just wanting someone to leave you alone.
very
that
odd
you need
choice.
that you need to cut off fingers.
He acted like that
Like,
was the only
I thought
choice.
that was-
I have to do this.
I thought maybe that was just him like threatening it, but but he did it once and then he went even further.
Oh, I knew it was real.
After talking to him multiple times, like prior to the incident, he considered the one to do it. Like
I
just thought it was.
knew he was
I
serious.
thought it was a weird way to go about making
why-
your point.
That to me was a really funny part when he finally cut off the finger, and then like right away he wants to take it back to him.
Yeah.
He cuts off the 5 fingers, and he's like,
do what?
"Oh, I've got to go talk to him." I mean, it would not go through his
Gotta go back
head.
to
The
him.
sister saying, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think that the point was that Colin Farrell's character was like borderline retarded.
He was just
It's
he
simple.
just didn't get it. Like
He's the second simplest person on that island, it seemed, next to his buddy, which was
Right.
performance. That
the
kid
best character in the whole
is
movie.
awesome.
Yeah. He
What
was
else has
really
he
good.
been in? What else
He
has he
was
been
the
in?
I don't know, he's
Joker.
familiar though. I'd seen him in at least one other thing.
He was in the Eternals. If you've seen that, he was also.
I remember him now. Okay.
He was in the Joker in the deleted. In the Batman.
Oh.
He actually is the Joker in like the deleted scenes in Arkham. There's like. In that
Actually,
Robert
Oh,
Pattinson.
interesting.
Oh yeah, actually I did see that scene.
Apparently
He's sick.
Dunkirk too.
He's in
Like,
what?
he was really funny.
Dunkirk? I don't remember him.
Oh, Dunkirk. Yeah,
But I can see him being in that.
sort of remember
That's
that.
probably what I remember him in.
There's
but
another one I haven't seen.
He should win Best Supporting Actor by
You
far.
know?
Like every single scene he touched and he was speaking truths. He was actually, in my opinion, might have not been one of the dumbest people on the island. He
well,
was one of
exactly. It's
those-
about what's intelligence, right? So like
Yeah.
he calls it as he sees it. And
Exactly.
the idea when he turns his back on Colin Farrell is a really big moment because he's like, you're just like the rest of them.
Yep.
You know?
Even he's
Like-
like
Even though he doesn't know what century Mozart was born in, neither does anybody else besides the sister anyway.
right.
But like he doesn't give a shit about it. He's just like, are you a nice person or not? You're not
Yeah.
a nice person. See you later.
Dude,
You know?
Exactly. I don't need to fuck with you. Dude,
That's crazy.
God, he was tremendous. That one scene down by when he talked to his sister and just like, oh, you wouldn't want to. Of course not. No, I already thought that. It was just,
Yeah.
Well, there goes that dream.
yeah. Oh my
That's-
God.
Yeah,
My
so
wife was
cool.
like crying when he said that. Like, how heartbreaking, dude. Like, what
And
a sweet guy.
does he die in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
He drowns, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they
Right,
lead you
drunk.
to believe.
And
probably-
it's I sort of noticed that it was a foreshadowed thing. He's playing with the pole with the hook
Right. Yep. And they
earlier in the movie, and he's like, what would you use this for anyway? You know.
Yeah.
And then like that's what they sort of pull him out of the water with, or she
And
pokes him.
Did
Yeah.
they mention? Did the police officer, when they were in town talking about like, oh, do you have news? Did he mention that there were multiple murders that had happened? No. I'm probably getting confused
No,
with
you
something
mean
else.
that was Dominic's dad?
The grandma death character, she says
Oh
there's
my
going to be
God.
2 deaths, right?
Oh, okay.
What
And
a
then
psychopath.
he dies, which is like the closest like confidant essentially of like of Colin Farrell's character, like palling around with, and then his donkey dies as well. So
Oh my
he's
God.
lost his best friend, and then he loses his donkey, and he loses the like he's just
And his
You know
sister,
what I mean?
his sister left, and immediately his donkey.
yeah.
died.
By the end of the movie, he's completely alone except for this antagonism that he now has. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
That's all he's
he
got.
actually buys into the antagonism, and plays along with it, and that's all he has.
Oh my God, dude.
Something.
What a
It
terrible
just wasn't.
life.
It wasn't a fun watch. Is I guess
No,
at the end of the day, I'd say it was not a fun
Depressing.
watch.
I
was
think this
hoping-
movie needs to be watched twice.
I was
Here.
hoping for some
Oh,
redemption.
I would never put this on again, ever.
Really? You didn't like
It was
it? That much?
beautiful. Beautiful.
It was a beautiful movie too. Yeah,
Beautiful.
very beautiful.
Oh my God.
What do you
Oh.
think, Eric?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was funny because Desi asked me last night. We did Marty cast, and he was like, "Why was he cutting off his fingers?" And I think that's key. Like, I agree with a lot of what everyone said, but I looked at it as like he hated himself, and he was just kind of like he was kind of fed up with where he was. Like what I was saying, like he wanted to do his music, he wanted to be remembered, but I feel like he knew he didn't really have any artistic ability, so he came up with this false reason. Like he started displacing his own anger onto
Right.
Colin Farrell, being like, "You have to leave me alone," because he knew he wasn't going to leave him alone.
Easy target.
It's like, if you
That's
don't leave me
good.
alone, I'm going to cut my finger off. Kind of knowing subconsciously that this guy's not like, you're just going to say,
Yeah.
"I'm not your friend anymore." Of course, he's going to come to me. He's like, "Oh, you made me cut my finger off. Why won't you listen?" And then he kind of probably knows he's going to come back again. He's like, "Look, you made me cut off my fingers off. Now I can't play the fiddle. Now I can't make my music. Like it's all your fault." But it's like, really, like, why would he do that? Like, I felt like he kind of hated himself. And that's kind of like he was just like blaming Colin Farrell's character for it, when really he is just like all inner kind of shit that he couldn't understand.
I don't know
if that's true or not.
A lot of people do that. I mean, that's
I think
yeah.
I like
the
that
self-mutilation
take.
Points to that for sure. That there's and also the irony, which is actually not irony because it's pointed out to him directly. How the fuck are you gonna play your fiddle without?
Yeah, it's like maybe he knew he was never gonna like.
It's so stupid.
So it's like, well, it's Colin Farrell's fault because I don't have fingers to play my fucking glorious tunes.
Yeah, it'll be his fault, right? Yeah.
Well, I also was thinking that it doesn't seem a coincidence to me. You have this all Irish cast. You have an Irish director. It's based in some Irish town, and the Irish Civil War is going on at the same time, right? Like that pulses through the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I personally saw it as an allegory of Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. There's this rift at some point in time. They just said, I don't want to be friends anymore. Somebody who's trying to hold on to the other side. The other side continues to try to be distant. They're still fucking called Ireland in both respects. So I saw it as like kind of
That's
a
crazy.
caricature of that.
Yep.
Where they're like playing out this thing and it's never going to end. And the last shot you see is Death, like the woman, just watching them on the beach like this is never going to end. And, and the last thing he says to him, thanks for watching my dog. Yeah, anytime. I burned your fucking house down, tried to kill you, but I'll watch the dog.
So
like, it's
weird.
still like,
yeah.
I feel like I think it's like and if it's too artsy, you can shit on me. It's fine. But I really felt
I
it was
mean,
that's
I
kind
have
of cool.
any idea about the Irish Civil War.
They wouldn't have any of that Irish Civil War stuff in it if it didn't matter.
Exactly.
Is
That
Ireland
shit was
still like that?
crazy.
Well, there's Northern Ireland still, and there's the Republic of Ireland. Those are two different countries
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
since the Civil War.
I mean, can you imagine looking across from where you live and there's just a civil war? Like, how is that not going to spread over to your dude? That's crazy. That was just kind of crazy to have that looming over the entire movie as a.
Yeah, they saw it as a distance, and I couldn't figure out. I was talking to Serge about this. Is the war there as a foil for what's going on with them, or are they a foil for the war? Like, are they a statement about it? Like,
Right.
the chicken or egg thing. I can't really figure out which one I actually believe. But
That's why some of these types of movies are really difficult to digest. But at the same time, I'd rather have a movie like this that makes you think of how many different meanings it has than
yeah.
some.
I'm glad I hop on this call because Travis talking about the technology thing. I was just
That's crazy.
what the fuck? Like that's incredible.
Brendan Gleeson is underrated.
Well, actually, just thinking about that Civil War from the technology angle, I'm kind of thinking of something like, the war is distant. Like you're looking at your phone and you're looking at these news stories. I mean, something happening in China, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, and it doesn't feel real. It feels distant. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There might be some kind of connection there.
Also, like the police officer, remember, he was like, he doesn't know who he's hanging, but there's a free lunch.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous.
He doesn't know which one they're going to kill. It doesn't matter to him.
Nope.
Yeah, I always wanted to see an execution.
Who cares?
I thought the bartenders, by the way, were really underrated. Like, that shit, they were really funny, especially that one.
I'd agree with that.
That's so, like, they were just, I don't know. I thought there was
a lot of good give and take.
I like the Irish stuff, the rowing.
You talk to him.
You guys rapping?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff could be more appreciated on a second watch.
Oh, it was
like Ben, second watch.
I'm a second watch kind of guy for a lot of stuff, though.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so torn on this movie because I really wanted something to happen at the end. I wanted, I guess it would have been really cliche to have it end nicely, to, based on how the movie was going, but kind of just didn't have an ending almost. It was just like, yep, like Nick said, this is just going to continue until one of them dies. They literally said, me and my wife got in a huge argument about what he said, because he said, like, we're even, pretty much is what he said. So we're quits, I think he called it. Yeah. He was like, no, we're not quits because you weren't in your house, pretty much. And to me, that was like, we're even, right? He's like, no, we're not fucking even. I'm gonna continue to
till you're dead
for the rest of your life. But how does that work? Like, what's the next step in that turmoil?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was, I'm not stopping until you're dead.
Yeah. Right, but he burned his house down. He could have killed him right there. Like, he's gonna murder him like with a gun? I don't understand. I don't know.
Or just it's like, as we've said, it's never gonna end.
Well,
it's not gonna end until you're dead.
One way or the other. I forgot. So the first time I watched it, he's reading he's reading like what he's writing back to his sister, right? Because she invites him to come live with him. And so he has the option to leave. Like Nick said, he lost everything. But he says, he like lies to her. He says, I have to feed I can't remember the horse's name, but he's like, I have to feed her, even though she was dead.
No, the donkey. Yeah, Jenny.
I have to keep feeding Jenny because it died. So no one's going to be able to take care of Jenny and blah, blah, blah. So he's like lying to her and
himself. He's a crazed individual.
Why wouldn't he leave? Like,
because the only thing that gives him purpose is now this problem that he has. If he actually ended up killing that guy, then he actually has even he has less than nothing.
Right.
Like he wants the Civil War like kind of shit.
Like he needs it to like have identity at that point.
Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson agreed to be in the film 7 years before it was greenlit.
I love that. That's sick. What? Like what?
But that's also kind of my biggest problem with the movie is it's hard not to, compare it to In Bruges, I think, because it's all the same people. And I think I like In Bruges more.
Way more.
But that's like In Bruges is kind of, I feel like it has a completely different angle, a completely different style. Like it's like it's like kind of like this weird, like all these characters intermeshing. Yeah. It's not like a closed-in thing. It's not.
I didn't like this.
It's not as fun. It's funny, but it's not like crazy things happening all the time. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since I've seen it, but even so, it's Colin Farrell. It's it's
sure. No, I didn't think it was. I was actually thinking today. What was my favorite Colin Farrell movie I've ever seen, and this isn't it for sure, but I like this.
What is?
I'm gonna have the. He says like I'm gonna have the animals in the house when I'm sad. Like I'm just gonna have them. Fuck off.
Colin Farrell probably. I would say probably The Lobster. It's the most. That's more recent though, so it's probably more memorable to me. But there's probably other stuff I like more than this that he's been in. But this is a very good movie.
Yeah. Obviously, Colin Farrell's best role was The Recruit with Al Pacino. It's an underrated flick, boys.
Oh, I forgot he was on a tear like that. He was on a lot of action movies.
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of those
SWAT
dumbass.
and
You know
stuff.
what?
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, exactly. I think it was right around that time.
I know you guys are fans of this movie. It's a smaller role, but he's awesome in Minority Report.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
he
that's a great movie.
That might be my favorite role of his. Minority Report is one of my top 10 movies for me.
I used to love it. It used to be up there for me.
That to me is Tom Cruise, directed by Steven Spielberg, based off of Philip K. Dick's story. I mean, that's just a trifecta for me.
That's Stanley Marsh coming to cat piss in the basement.
Dan Darsh.
Wait, what?
You haven't seen that?
What?
Seen what?
In South Park, there's like a way that all the dads from back in the day, they all like get high off of cat piss and like come.
Yeah. It's called cheesing.
Yeah.
It's like Kenny. Kenny sees that big breast.
I think I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
That's how you get off is Minority Report. They're just like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see, dude. Colin Farrell's been on a lot of shit, but
yeah.
I don't know. I seriously think he's just like, as he got older, he really was starting to just do bangers. Like at first, he was kind of a hot action, meaningless Miami Vice.
It was definitely more like Hollywood A-list in his beginning career.
You know what really bothers me is in True Detective season 2, I hated it, but I really liked him, and I felt like it wasn't his fault that was bad. Like I don't think it was written well for him. Like, but he did when I watched him, he was awesome, but I just didn't care. You know what I mean?
Agree.
He was definitely the best part. I remember too. I remember there was a scene
I liked him and Vince Vaughn in that.
You like Vince Vaughn? You like Vaughn, huh?
Sorry, Eric. What did you say?
No, I was just saying. I remember, I haven't rewatched season 2 of True Detective, but I remember there's a scene where he gets hammered, drunk, and breaks all this shit in his house, and it was
he was wild. He was a wild man. Yeah.
There's too many storylines. They had too many characters in there.
Yeah. They fucking had. Who was that pretty boy dude who's now a good actor? He was like the other storyline. He was like a motorcycle.
Was that Taylor Kish?
Yeah, and I kind of like him now. He's been in a few, but he sucked. He was not.
It just wasn't written well, like Nick said.
Just a wasted storyline. But wait, was it Rachel McAdams? How did they fuck that up?
Yeah.
Oh, her shit was dumb because she was addicted to porn or some shit.
They fucked it up because they had Vince Vaughn become the new what the fuck is his name?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the Matthew McConaughey, and he had those monologues that he was the philosophical thing.
Yeah.
And it coming out of Vince Vaughn's mouth, I was like, "This is not."
Baby. Come on, baby, baby, come on, baby. It's Tough Vaughn, baby. It's Vince Tough, baby. Come on, baby.
So Ben, I know you didn't like the movie, but this has been nominated for 9 Academy Awards. Would you have?
What else is nominated? Is my next question. There's
cinematography, acting.
At the end of the day, I just feel like, first of all, what's this? Is this based on a movie, a book?
Nope. No, it was written by the director.
I think that this is everybody that now tries to make something original. I feel like they're trying way too hard, and it needs to be
do less.
Either not greenlit for a movie or this would. I'm sure that this.
Well, let's pack up our shit and go home, everybody. Only remakes.
It's hard for me to describe it because I appreciate everything you guys say that you liked about the film, and I'm not gonna disagree with it because I think Colin Farrell and that guy did a great job acting in it. I did like a lot of the side characters and understood their purpose in the film, but I can't understand why something that feels like it's painful to watch can be nominated for an Oscar. I do get it, but I didn't get anything There was nothing fulfilling about that movie to me.
They
at
love
all.
that. The Oscars loves that. Those type of movies win Best Picture all the time. They love that weird, meaningless, artsy shit. But there's
Yeah.
more meaning, like
I feel like there's so much need for original content in Hollywood, though, that they'll give almost anything a shot. And while I think, again, you guys are probably right, this was executed well, I just didn't feel the content was worthy of a almost 2 hour film.
It was weird.
Well, it's actually the opposite. Now they won't give anything that's original a shot. They only will give Marvel and DC comic movies a shot, and anything that's original has to be
it's
from someone they really think has a proven track record of doing it, like Jordan Peele now, and this guy McDonagh or whatever his name is.
The guy that does the Arrival and Sicario,
Denis Villeneuve.
he fucks around. They will let him watch the shit in his.
Well, they should. He's the best director there is right now.
I can't wait for Dune 2, Part 2. Oh my god, bro.
Oh, he did Dune. That's right.
Oh my god. He also did Blade Runner, correct? For 2049.
I wasn't a big fan of the Blade Runner personally, but that's just me.
I personally thought they needed to cut out 30 minutes from it.
Yeah, way too. Yeah, I don't get that.
I thought like 2 hours and 30 minutes would have been better to cut.
30 minutes. You really hated it that much?
No, I didn't hate it that much. I thought, and I'm not turning this into a Blade Runner conversation. My big gripe with it was in the Blade Runner, it's so, as you know, you just were saying that author's name. It's so much more about the question where do humans and machines, like where does that overlap, and where does it even matter anymore? And that movie I thought was so much less about that and more about like the action to get there, and like it followed a common trajectory. I don't think it gave as much of like the original. It did not play with the themes as much at all, I thought.
I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good answer to that. I mean, it took that. It took that to the next step.
I did like the ending. I like Jared Leto's whole layer and all that shit. I thought that was very well done. But yeah, I need to watch it again, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, but we'll stay away from Blade Runner.
Sorry.
No, that's all right.
That's Travis's next pick, I think.
I actually am due for a rewatch of that. I haven't watched that in a while either.
The original or the new one?
The new one. It's been
the original is
years.
one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, in my opinion. It's
100%.
Yeah. The monologue from the bad guy at the end on the rooftop or whatever. I mean, that's one of the greatest monologues in a movie ever.
I typed it in. There was back when dubstep was cool. I got bought something on Apple, like some dubstep whatever, like best of, and one of the songs had all clips of that monologue as like part of it. It was the sickest thing. Like, I don't know. That's such a cool monologue.
Plus, the last line
what the fuck
sticks with me.
You know how I know that the Oscars is awful? Avatar: The Way of Water is nominated for Best Picture.
Did you see it?
No, but like nobody's said that that's good.
Well, they have 10 nominations.
Yeah, it's diluted. For sure.
They're nominating some like.
It used to be 5.
I'm sorry, but Top Gun is not the type of movie that's supposed to be nominated for the best picture.
Top Gun is worthy.
No, I don't agree. I saw it. I don't agree.
I'll never say you should watch this movie, especially in the last like 10 years. You should watch this movie. I'll never add it's been nominated for so many academies. I just don't like it's. Yeah. I think it's just such a fucking racket more than ever now.
I'm not saying I didn't like Top
Gun. No, it's definitely meaningless in my opinion.
They never nominated isn't like Black Panther, like aren't they nominating some dumbass shit now for like what else has been nominated? There's some dumb shit.
Check the boxes, Wyatt.
Yeah,
Brendan Fraser for The Whale. We gotta watch The Whale.
Well, I did see The Whale, and I thought it was all right, but I saw it because the director. I'll watch whatever he makes.
Colin Farrell's up for Best Actor.
Requiem for a Dream.
Right.
Kill
what?
me.
What, Ben?
Colin Farrell is up for Best Actor for that.
He should be. Fucking amazing.
Okay. I could play an idiot.
I mean, that's the fun thing about talking
what
about.
the fuck? Did you guys see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No.
But I
want to
really
see it.
I've seen it.
You liked it?
We'll do that next week.
I would watch. Yeah, it's a while. It's
All right, let's do that. Can we decide on that? I've been wanting to watch that.
You should watch it. I mean, it's worth a rewatch because it is seriously very, very, very. It's a lot.
Convoluted.
It's wild.
Are you the only? Have you seen it, Nick?
Layers on that onion.
Have you already seen it, Nick?
No, but I know, like, I remember it's pretty much like the Spider-Verse movie I didn't see, except just with Asian people, I think. But I heard good things. Carly and her husband said it is,
They liked it.
That's a funny sentence to hear. Carly and her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was allowed to marry Ben. It's okay.
His face. We went golfing one time, and when he first got engaged, and we caught up to another double, and we got together in the foursome, and they said they were like, we were introducing ourselves, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be this guy's brother-in-law. I just got engaged to his sister, and I said, yeah, he's such a lucky guy, and the guy's face, they were like, what?
Yeah, he's gonna have the time of his life.
Yeah, he's fucking her now.
I mean, dude, I'm looking at all these nominations. Like, did y'all see the Elvis movie?
No, I heard that was garbage.
Yeah, I don't get this. I
heard some
They
people
just
were
don't
saying-
make good movies anymore.
Well, there's not many movies coming out
like
right
where
now.
is like I don't think was Nope was last year, but was that nominated for
No,
Best
no, that's supposed to be for this year. Zero nominations.
Zero.
Remember, because when you brought it up, I thought it came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Zero.
So, dude, it's a joke. Even the Oscars have been like they're fucked up now. They're not even nominating like individual, like unique scripts. That's what I thought that was.
Eric convinced me to watch Nope, and I know we talked about it last week. He convinced me to watch Nope. I watched it after I'd seen this movie, and so far I thought this was the best movie I'd seen this year. Nope was definitely the most memorable, probably the best movie I saw that came out in this year. And then I realized it had 0 nominations because, like Eric, I thought it was the year before or so.
Yeah, same.
And I just went, that's not fair.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, even Everything Everywhere All at Once, like I feel like it's getting more like not that movie, but I'm just like everything is becoming more popcorn. Like I don't like.
They're all TJ movies.
Top Gun Maverick should not be on there, Travis. It can't be on there.
It should be on there. Top Gun Maverick
it can't be.
is an excellent movie.
They have to nominate.
Not. It's just okay. It's pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
He's flying the jet again. Here we go. We need him. It's the most run-of-the-mill. Like, come on, bro. This is not a unique script. It's a sequel. What
all right, but this is the point of talking about movies. Haven't you ever like followed somebody that reviews movies or talks about movies? Like I know Wadden or Eric and maybe some Wadden and some of you other people too. You know, I've listened to Chad Dukes a lot.
Oh yeah.
And he talks about movies, and I think we like a lot of the same movies, but we have very different tastes about a lot of movies too. I mean, that's just normal.
Yeah. True. Yeah, of course. Hey, I'm just doing this for the podcast, man. I'm trying to don't fuck.
Hey, I'm just coming back.
Hey. Yeah, but no, this Banshees movie was this is more of an Oscar Best Picture type of movie. This is what I'm used to. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of half of the movie made me feel like, why did I watch the fucking movie? And the other half was kind of like, damn, I could totally see.
Well, the cinematography one, if they're nominated, they should just give it to them now, I think. I mean, were they nominated for that?
Way of Water, so.
Oh yeah, Way of Water, yeah.
They're gonna win that. Or Everything Everywhere.
Oh shit.
Which is crazy. It definitely should have been for cinematography.
I have a question for you, Wyatt.